All right, y'all, what's poppin'? Welcome to Caffeine and Green. We are back today, and I'm your host, Connor Cardenas. And today we are sitting down with Chris Colbourn, professional skateboarder for Element Skateboards and New Balance shoes, Mountain Dew, just to name a couple. Chris, welcome to the show.
What up, Connor? Thanks for having me, G.
Yes, my man.
Yes.
As we were talking before, I just like to get right into it. I've known you for quite some time, but you've been skating for how long now?
20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
Over half my life, for sure. That's 2/3 of my life right now.
Dude, that is insane. 20 years. I guess that makes sense. Like, how old are you now?
I'm 29. Started when I was 9.
Damn, dude. And
Yeah. Time fucking flies.
you didn't grow up in California.
No, I grew up in Vermont. I moved out when I was like 19. Just stuck it out back home, finished high school, and then a couple of good buddies of mine had the opportunity to move out west, and about a year about a year after they moved out, they convinced me enough to do the same. And yeah, everybody needs a little help doing things, so
Yep.
I was grateful to have some homies to move in with out there and have some support too.
That's rad. I mean, yeah, it's like the Beatles song, right? Get by with a little help from your friends.
Yeah, exactly.
So, are all of your friends from Vermont still out here?
The ones that convinced me to move out are, yes, it
Yes.
was my homie Chris Whitaker and Jordan Maxim.
Oh, damn, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know you moved out here or Jordan moved out here, and that was like that whole connection. Because I did see him in your parts.
Yeah. We've been hanging tough since we are each like 14.
Damn. And you guys knew each other. Did you guys go to like high school together or anything like that?
No, we didn't go to the same school. He grew up like about an hour away from me, but we met through skating around Burlington, and I'd come out to his local park sometimes for like little contests or whatnot. And we kind of just like see each other around and almost like not butt heads, but there was a weird dynamic going for a minute
Your
where
vibe.
he was just like, "Who the fuck is this kid coming through skating my park in pajamas?" Like, I think he gave me poser of the month in his homie zine one month.
A poser of the month?
Yeah,
That's some shade right there.
I know.
Were you skating in PJs? Is that why you were saying that?
I was, yeah.
Hey, you're just relaxed, bro. That's all it
I
is.
know. Yeah, I was feeling it.
Dude, well that was actually I I had first heard of you in like this is for people who are like we're dating ourselves here, but I first met you through MySpace.
Yes,
Dude, yeah, we were MySpace friends and I
that's
remember
epic.
dude and
I
I saw
recall.
you did a I remember you had a sequence on your MySpace and it was a kickflip backtail big spin and you were wearing a yellow helmet or some shit.
Yeah, red helmet.
Red helmet. Okay.
Uh-huh.
That was
That had to have been at the local skate park talent.
that was at your local skate park?
Yeah,
Damn. How old were
for
you when you did that?
sure. I was probably like 15 when like MySpace was really kicking.
Damn, dude. So you're 20. Yeah, I guess that makes sense because I'm 34 now. So damn, yeah, we were friends when I was 19. So if you were 50, yeah, that makes sense.
That's
Damn,
sick.
dude. Oh my god.
That's a trip.
Dude.
MySpace is how I got the whole connections to move out west too, randomly.
Well, yeah, let's get into that. You were so not I don't know how many people know now, but like I remember one of the last times I saw you, we were at the Trans World Awards and
Mm.
I had you were in the video and I remember like somehow, some way, like just the planets aligned or something, and we were like walking out, we were in Long Beach or something like that, wherever it was, somewhere in LA.
Oh,
And
is it for duets?
was that the first one you were in?
That's the only one I've been in.
Okay, because I remember like yeah, it had to have been that one then because I remember you had a clip in the video or like, and I seen you, and I was like, that's Chris. And I was like, what? Oh my, what? And then all of a sudden I walked out and I seen you and I was like, what's up, Paul? Oh, I seen you in the video. And you were like, I was like, you've come so long from silent skateboards. And you were like, dude, nobody knows about that.
That's right. That's
Dude,
right. Yeah, because it had been like 10 years probably since I saw you or something at that point.
dude. I mean,
Or
I don't
like
think it was
I've
10
been
years
in
because
touch.
yeah, it's like probably like 5 or 6 years, I think. Cause there was definitely like, I had moved to San Diego by that point, moved out of LA. And then it was like, oh shit, like, dude, you're killing it now. And then it was like, but yeah, before I like get too far ahead, like you were silent skateboards. That's why you moved out west.
Yes, 100%. I was just this little skate rat, like 14, 15, just filming shit at my local skate park, talent and like little street stuff here and there, trying to make like a sponsor me tape. And the homies at the shop were hyping me up to like get sponsored or like try and get some free gear out of this, because yeah, it's just hard to maintain like paying for all the gear every month whenever something breaks down, this and that. So yeah, I sent out my footage to this company's silent skateboards I stumbled upon somehow. And like all their graphics were like kind of sick, kind of like DIY.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of the skaters, but sent them my footage, and whoever was running it hit me back and sent me some boards. I started skating them. My homies caught on. They were like, yo, what's going on here? Like, is this legit? Like, who's sending you these boards? Like, oh, it's this dude I met, Paul Wilson. Like, he started a board company for his son out west, Silent Skateboards. And he ended up flying me out for a contest at Bonita Skate Park in Arcadia,
Mm-hmm.
called All About the Benjamins. And it was put on by Styx Ride Shop.
Yep.
And there was like a $500 game of skate involved that I got kind of close to the end brackets, but and then there was like a main contest at the main park when the lights came on. But it was funny to look back on that day because I met a couple dudes that day that I've kept in touch with since. After like fast forward 5 years later, I moved out to California permanently.
Mm-hmm.
And would see those guys around and be like, I know you somehow. Be like, yeah, that day at Arcadia. Just
Dude.
such a trip to think back on. But once I came back from that trip, granted, my dad had come with me just to like make sure this dude was legit, basically, and
Yeah.
just to have a travel companion. And my homie Mark Nicholson came with me too, actually, because he had planned to come out west, but all his buddies bailed on him. So he hopped in. So that was cool to have a homie with me. But it was sick. When I came out, we just went skating and got to hang out with Paul and his son and a bunch of their friends. He'd bring a van out on the weekend and go street skating with them and film clips. And it was just like kind of a passion project for him.
Yeah.
And it just like kind of escalated once I came back. Told my homies how well it went and how cool he was, that they wanted to get more and more involved. So my homie Chris Whitaker, started shooting photos for him and kind of being like a team manager. And Jordan was very interested just to like try and hop on something like that. Somebody's chopping something next door. Those home projects.
Yep.
But yeah. Silent kind of like started taking off right there, and we started making better graphics with them. We got my homie Pete involved, who lives in Burlington at the time. He made like a series of some pretty sick graphics. And yeah, one thing led to the other, and the companies, they started getting some ads in Transworld, and my homie James Buckman would come up from New York and skate with us in Vermont and try and like give us some direction. He'd take us down to New York and like show us around, and we were filming for a full-length video eventually. And Sadly, the company had to get put on hold because Paul's main line of work is construction. He owns a construction business, and he got caught up in like a lawsuit or something at the time and couldn't keep funding all this skateboarding business.
Yeah.
Wasn't exactly paying the bills or like breaking even. So we all just started kind of picking up the pieces ourselves, and James ended up finishing his video as an independent project and called it Cut and Dry. But there were so many nods to silent throughout that video of us skating the boards throughout, to like a shot of one of the graphics getting screen printed. That was one of my favorite shots. And just looking back and seeing us all skating the boards makes me really happy.
Dude, yeah,
Because
I
we had
mean,
a sick team, like, for the time being. It was like Tom Rohr had got on. He moved out from Minnesota. We all started living together in this house in Echo Park, which is where I came into the picture in 2011. And yeah, it's just like, it's been a permanent summer vacation ever since. Can't thank Paul Wilson enough for like hitting me back on MySpace when I was 15, because not sure if I would have made the move out here when I did if I didn't have those resources and support.
dude, that's amazing. I mean, it's funny to hear your side of that because I mean, I'm sure all the homies that remember silent skateboards, it was like I'd always see them around the Monrovia Park. Um, I don't remember what
Uh-huh.
that park was called, but it was like the one that just has like those huge ass blocks and like a buttery ass little forest there and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's the same one with the contest.
Yeah,
Arcadia,
okay.
Monrovia.
I think that was I think it was like around there. Arcadia, Monrovia. I think that's like the same park.
Yeah, I think they call it Bonita.
Is it Bonita Park? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just remember seeing them start and all of like everybody who was around that LA area was kind of like, what's the deal with these guys? And then no lie, bro, it was when we saw you that were like,
Hmm.
oh no, they're legit because the team wasn't like to the level of what you'd expect LA skaters at that time, especially like the crew that we were running with. It was like not to like be like all high and mighty, but you know, you're young and you got like an
Yeah.
ego, and it's like the homies that you're kicking it with, they're like are all sponsored, or they're like, you know, it's like Mike Mo and all those dudes, and then
Hmm.
you see like the silent guys, we're like, you guys get boards, and we're like over here like not getting anything, and we're like, what? And then we saw you,
Yeah.
and it was like, yo, they got this dude Chris, apparently he's from like the East Coast, and then fast forward through the years, I started seeing the Trans World ads and seeing everything that you were talking about. I was like, dude, they like went legit. You know, it was
Huh.
it was
That's sick.
super tight. You know, so it was definitely it was cool to see the evolution of it and to see how far you guys took it and made
Oh
it.
yeah.
You know, brought it up really. Um,
Yeah, it's a trip to like hear people mention that brand because it's special to hear that.
dude,
Like, I was in the Philippines with Mountain Dew like 3 years ago, doing like helping judge a contest at this park they built there, and some kid came up with an old Trans World mag of a silent sequence of mine, and they're doing like a laser flip down a 4 block in Long Beach, and
really?
asked me to sign it. And I was just like, this is such a trip. Like, you have this printed ad of silent here across the world.
Dude, it is, and it's. I mean, it just goes to show you too. You never really know how far your reach is these days. I mean, you know, you're stuck in this bubble here in the United States, and like sometimes, I mean, granted, you have Instagram and all those other things, so now you do have a grasp on how far you reach. But
Hmm.
when you go to these remote parts of the world, Southeast Asia, Philippines, all those um, things aren't as plentiful there, if you will, and in terms of anything. And so to like see how people just can like hold on to these things and really just admire your work in a sense, it really is something special to see. Like because
Yeah, for sure.
they have such a deep appreciation for things that maybe people here might take advantage of or take for granted, not advantage, take for granted, I should say.
Right,
Um,
like print magazines.
yeah, dude,
You won't catch a kid holding one of those these days or in the States, but I'm sure in the Philippines they're stoked on that because like they probably don't have television with cable, so
dude,
a print mag is like everything when you can hold it and like walk around with it and read it and share it.
well, it's tangible too. They can touch it.
It's tangible. Yeah, you're right.
You could put it up on your wall. I mean, I'm sure you remember like being a super young kid. I mean, every skater that I've ever known, they like used to rip out, your favorite ad or like if you do you remember the binders in high school that had like the sleeve and you could put like your photo like the
Yes.
I used to
The
put
cover.
like I remember putting like Keenan Milton on mine and then
Sick.
also putting like Paul Rodriguez on the back when his like intro girl ad, like
Uh,
stuff like
Epic. I know
that.
my one homie would just cover his ceiling with like Mark Appleyard pictures.
Dude, that's yeah, apples,
So sick.
bro. Who is
Yeah,
your favorite skater?
my homie Trevor Mahalik would do that, and he would skate just like Mark and like wear his circus shoes and like double tongue his shoes and just like really embody that steez.
Dude. Well,
It
you
was
remember like
cool.
Video Radio too, right? Like that was
Yeah,
Appleyard when he was just like oh,
just rock
so
star.
steezy. So, yeah, so rock star, so steezy. Like, God, dude,
Uh-huh.
that was one of the best. That was like one of the best tour videos ever back in the day.
For sure. Such great personality.
Yep.
You say favorite skater though? Dude,
Yeah,
Appleyard's definitely up there.
dude, you get to
Like,
skate with him too.
yeah, it's a trip getting to know him out here. It's been an honor. Still trips me out. Oh, I got one thing to add too to that silent trip.
Oh,
Yeah, we went to Holmes Middle School and we're skating that like it's like a 9-stair rail. You can go over the rail, kind of like diagonal around a pillar. And at the time, I was really into double flips, so I have a fond memory of double flipping over this rail, and then like a whole crew walks in, like Paul Rodriguez, Jeremy Rogers, Shane O'Neill, Terry Kennedy, and I really only knew who like P-Rod was and
yeah.
Jeremy Rogers at the time. No idea who this little Shane O'Neill dude was or Terry Kennedy. It was sick because a bunch of the kids I was with were like fanning out, but I was just trying to like be cordial and like not super fan out, but still like be stoked. And it was just a really funny memory to like first interaction with pros in a schoolyard in California. I was like, wow, this like actually happens on the regular here, huh?
Yeah. That's really funny because like, dude, I it's not even like a California thing, it's a Southern California thing, I would
Yeah.
say, because I mean, I'm from the Bay Area
Mm.
and I remember coming down to Southern California and like meeting a couple kids and then I met like did you know Carlos Arazua?
Yeah.
Silos, yeah. I'm he was like the first dude who introduced me to pretty much everybody. Like he introduced me to Jeremy. And
Sick.
then once I met Jeremy, like I met him a couple times and then somehow or another I ended up meeting Paul and then it was like Nigel and then it was like then it was linked in with everybody of those. But I remember the first thing too was like, dude, I was only in skating in LA probably for like 2 weeks before I met my first pro. And then it was like just spiraling and it was like dude what they really are just like you said they really are just around and everybody knows each other and it was like
It's only a matter of time.
yeah right especially if you were like at that time MySpace was just kicking off definitely no social media except for that so it's like
Right.
if
Word of
you
mouth
were
is everything.
if you were like decent and it was like you're eventually going to find your way to hanging out with the better dudes you know like it was
Yeah, like a
very
schoolyard session was like how you'd get sponsored probably back then or noticed.
yeah. Well, I mean, and two, it's like I'm sure you know, like you live in Echo Park still.
Highland Park.
Highland Park. So, but you know Val Surf and like Brooklyn
Yeah.
Projects and all that stuff. Like once you're in those shops, I mean, either half the dudes were working there, or you would just like walk into a shop to get a board, and it'd be like Jerron Wilson would be there, or dude, like Kevin Turpinning. Like I don't know where he's at these days, but
I
he
saw him recently.
did you really?
Yeah, at Beebles Park
Okay, yeah. I mean,
or Guy's Park or whoever's park it is.
yeah, dude, him and like Casey Morrissey. Like I remember Kevin walking into the shop, and like Scott Pizzell. I think he goes by like something else now because he was like on Robin Big or one of those Rob shows. It's like those dudes all worked at Val Surf, and I was there with Casey, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, these Ohio dudes are coming in," and then it was like, "That's Rob's cousin," and then this is this dude, and this dude, and it's like, what?
Hmm.
Like it's like how did this all happen? Like,
Yeah,
but
skate shops really bridge those connections for
dude,
skaters.
especially in LA. LA,
Yeah, right.
that was
Yeah,
just.
Brooklyn Projects has been really helpful to me over the years.
Do you ride for them?
I do.
So you like yeah, Dom DeLuca, another he's like a legend in the area. I mean,
Hmm.
um
Yeah,
I rode for Brooklyn.
he's been nothing but welcoming to me. Like hooking me up with boards when I was in limbo between Silent and Element, and just like trucks before I reached out to Indy. He would just always flow them, or bearings before I reached out to Swiss. It was really helpful, but honestly, it kind of like held me back from like reaching out to these brands a little sooner than I should have. But it's all good. Better late than never.
Dude, yeah, Dom is an interesting cat in the sense where I've never met anybody who is like so he's just got that swag, like it don't even matter like like you said, it's like it's if you want it, Dom literally is that dude. He's like, I got it. Like, yo, I'll make a phone call, and then he's like, yo, I got a box coming for you later today. It'll be here at 3, or something like that. It's like,
Yeah, he doesn't turn you down.
nah, dude.
Good dude.
He,
He's got stories for days too.
dude,
What a
stole.
life. What a
But
life
like,
that man has led.
you think too, like he might be bullshitting you just like a little bit, and then it's like all of a sudden you walk in and like Chris Brown's standing right there, or like,
Yeah. Or it's like the signed Mariah Carey poster to Dom in his office or something.
dude, dude, I was living in Hollywood at one point, and I was living on Hollywood and Wilcox because I was writing for the shop. I wanted to be close to the shop.
Oh damn, that's right there.
It was right there, and this is when he was like on Melrose, across the street from where the shop is now, because it used to
Uh-huh.
be closer to Fairfax. I think it's up the street a little bit more now, but
Hmm.
he he called me one morning at like, I was in my early 20s, so it had to have been like 8 or 9 o'clock, and he called me like, "Yo, what's up, Dom?" He's like, "Yo, you like hip hop, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Come to the shop right now." And I was like, "Bro, like, it's like 8 o'clock or so, like 9 o'clock, early, for at that time of my life." He's like,
Yeah.
"Come to the shop right now." Hung up the phone, and like, so I didn't like tell my roommates or nothing. I just got up and got dressed, went to the shop, and he's like, "Come to the back." Like, and I was like, "Okay." He's like, "Don't go to the front of the shop, come to the back." I was like, "All right." So we go to the back of the shop, and I knock on the door, and dude, in a straight Dom way, Dom just like opens the door and just opens his arms, and he's like, "Come here, come here," and he like gives me a hug. I'm like, "What's up, Dom? Like, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Just go to the front, like walk to the shop, go to the front." I was like, "Okay." Walk in the front, and dude, I shit you not, bro, it was Juicy J and DJ Paul, and they were in there doing a
Wow.
photo shoot, like for some magazine. And he's like, "I want you to meet these guys," and I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Okay." And then I
Damn,
met him, and
that's
they were
cool.
like, they were like cool guys, of course, but I was just
Mhm.
tripping, like, how do you do this, bro? Like, you just know everybody, like.
Right. And that he reached out to like just get you to come meet him is sick.
Dude, yeah, I mean, there was, I mean, the stories that you even like, I mean, he has stories, but the stories that you will get by knowing him are next level too. Like Antoine was going through a tough time, and he showed up after getting released from like jail, still in his stuff, like his jail pieces, and Antoine standing in the back, and I was like, "Yo, what?" And Dom's like, you need some clothes?" He's like, "Yeah." Gives Twan like some Brooklyn Project shirts, like some pants, stuff like that. Later in the day, we're skating. We see Antoine walking down the street, smoking a blunt with a Jamba Juice in his hand and some like brand new clothes on. He's like, "Yo, what's up, yo?" We're like,
That's
what,
it.
we're like, "What have you been doing?" He's like, "I'll just get my, I cashed my check, got these like, didn't even have a car." He's like, "I got a GPS system, like came back and kicked it at the shop." Like, it was like, by being at Brooklyn during that time, just being on on Melrose all day, dude, there's no telling. Every day was different, and every day Dom had something to do. Or it'd be like, you walk in the shop, Dom's like, "Hey, you need a clothing sponsor, right? This is my homie right here. We got you. Send him a box." It's like,
Oh yeah.
dude. But either way,
Yeah, he's got a lot of connections. I'm stoked on what he's doing with like the shop clothing too. He's making cool shit.
dude, he's always made such cool shit, bro. Like
Yeah.
all the shirts that he does, like he made that
He gets a
Beastie
lot
Boys
of
shirt.
he gets a lot of cease and desist.
Yeah, yeah.
That shit cracks me up.
That's never changed, bro. That's been that way since forever. He used to have this
Mhm.
shirt. It was like the Beastie Boys album, but it was the tail end of the License to Ill. Instead of it being this way, it was like this way, and on the back it said "Get off my dick." It was crazy, bro.
Right.
But you actually said something really good there, or something interesting was that you've only had two board sponsors, so it was Silent and then Element.
Yes, correct.
Dude, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm trying to think if I had any like shop flow, but no, I linked up with Silent like early on. So the only shop flow I was getting around the time I linked up with Silent was I had Duff shoes coming in for like 2 months, and then like Globe for a little bit, and Satori wheels.
Damn, that's sick.
That stuck around for a while. I was hyped on that. Cool
Damn.
company,
So,
but I decided to ride for Spitfire about like 2 years ago,
damn.
which was a great decision.
Hell yeah, dude. Spitfire's amazing.
Yeah, I've been a fan of them forever, so I'm stoked to like rep that logo and ride those good ass wheels.
Yep. Yep.
They just
Um,
keep getting better.
um,
But yeah, the limbo time was cool. My homie Jordan got on Warco at the time, and I skated a few of those boards, but never felt like fully getting invested. So I just like kind of hung back and just kept skating with James and finished that cut and dry video. And then he gave me last part in that video, and that part kind of ended up being my sponsor me tape for Element.
damn.
Like just without even trying, kind of.
Yeah.
My homie Ira like hit me up and was like, "Hey, I think you'd be a good fit with Element. Like you come from Vermont, it's like surrounded by trees. You're a pretty cool dude." So he's like, "I know this guy Cole Matthews, who's the team manager. Let me see what I can do." And then Cole gave me a call and was like, "Yo, what up? You want boards?" I was like, "Fuck yeah." Then slowly started hanging with him, and he introduced me to like some of the guys, Julian and Nick and Evan, and just slowly started spiraling from there. I'm stoked I stuck around.
Dude, I mean, those names that you just said right now, those are some pretty heavy names. But then also on Element now, I saw on one of your parts, like Brandon Westgate. You've been around
Mhm.
Donnie Barley. I mean, for dudes who are a little bit older, Donnie Barley is like a legend in skateboarding.
Dude, for
Saw him
sure.
in
East
Spitfire.
Coast especially.
What's that?
East Coast especially.
Right?
Yeah.
Um,
He's been a really good mentor to me over the past couple of years.
really?
Yeah.
Wow. In like what ways?
Like getting on the road with him, he's kind of just like kept me in check. Whether it's been like being like motivation at a spot, or just like bringing me around to shops and like taking me to like FDR and like all these sick ass places that I really needed to see and skate in person. And like he took me in on a road trip. We stayed at his house and got to like see his whole board wall and meet his 3 daughters and wife. And just we did a bunch of those no board left behind events where we set up shop at a skate shop in the parking lot, and with like a jigsaw you cut out a homie's old used board into like a little mini cruiser, and then if they buy an element board inside from the shop, then we give them free trucks and wheels and bearings for their little cruiser. But Donnie would be holding these events sometimes like by himself and like be cutting out like 200, 300 boards a day. And just like seeing that kind of work ethic is pretty motivating.
Dude, that's amazing.
Just with his background and like where he's at. He's also teaching like local skate camps back in Rhode Island now. And still skates with Westgate all the time. It's just like hella motivating.
Just throwing out barley grinds left and right, switch,
Dude,
regular.
yeah, I can't help but doing them, especially when he's around.
Dude,
He asked me to do a switch one when we were in Boston like 2 summers ago. And it was a struggle, but I got one.
I was never able. It didn't make sense to me to like do the 180 and then lock into a Smith. It just didn't. It didn't make sense to me. I don't know why I never got that, but
You got it. It's still there.
dude,
I think the trick is to like lean back
yeah.
so you don't go into board slide.
Okay.
You just like fully do that 180.
That dog.
Big trick
Yeah,
though. I'm still waiting to like see a flip into one.
dude, that would be pretty heavy. That would be pretty heavy.
Takes a lot of precision there.
Dude, I mean, just the fact about that, I mean, like, unless you would have said that, I probably wouldn't have just been like, I would have thought about it afterwards. But yeah, he has a trick named after him. That's how influential he has been to skateboarding. So the fact that like you get to do these things outside of skateboarding, I mean, that just shows a lot about who he is as a person and how influential he is on just everything he's doing and on skateboarding in general. But you also get to skate with dudes like Nigel rides for Element now too, right? Or he still does.
He does, yeah.
I mean,
I don't see him around too often, but he is really nice when I do see him.
yeah.
Always good vibes. Saw he was skating my board the other day. That was tripping me out.
He was skating your board?
Yeah.
Wow.
Super trippy.
Dude, how do you feel about that? Like you're just like, oh, what the fuck?
It's rad. I don't know if he chose that or if they just sent him to him, but still, it's an honor.
Dude, that's quite like that's a good thing to bring up, because it's like in today's day and age with so much social media and so much content that is always being produced and then getting in the eyes of so many people, do you see a difference as opposed to like board sales or people buying your boards or reaching out to you and like showing you love, like, hey man, look at this, like, you know, somebody like Nigel, I'm sure he has like 1 million followers, like they see his board, they're like, oh shit, he's skating a Chris Colbourn board, like I'm gonna try to go get that at the skate shop or order it online. Like,
that's a good point. Yeah, hype like that can escalate quickly now thanks to social media.
yeah, dude, that's pretty amazing.
Without it, I probably wouldn't have even known he was skating them. So it helps in that aspect. Dude, like some kid had sent me his story and that's how it was brought to my attention.
Oh, well, that's perfect then. That actually goes right to my point, because I was going to be like, I thought,
right?
I was assuming that you saw that just by your own, but it's like,
no, I don't really watch stories, like, because it's just never ending. Like I'll click on a couple if they're like at the top of the list and they're homies.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I try not to get sucked into those.
Yeah.
So I just look in the DMs for people to send me shit.
That's true. That is very true.
It comes in handy.
Well, you also have other outlets as well. I mean, as you can tell, your background right there, you have amazing, like you have, I can't think of it. My father does this. You have an easel. You have,
Hell yeah. Thank
what
you.
are these paintings? Like the paint, what are they on? It's,
Canvas?
thank you. It's on like on a canvas, and you have other outlets. So I'm assuming you're not on your phone all day just scrolling. You're like spending, hours doing these art pieces.
Yeah, it's been fun chipping away at these like after I'm done skating. Been trying to keep enough projects out so wherever I look, I'll just like see something that needs fixing or like adding to.
Damn.
And yeah, it's been keeping me busy for sure.
How many hours a day do you think you spend on like one piece?
I don't know. Lately, it's been pretty sporadic with this
Yeah.
whole quarantine thing. I've just been like putting like, I don't know, 30 minutes into one day and like 30 into another. But that's a good question. I think it's a good little like painting session if I can keep my head down like for an hour. But I don't really keep track, to be honest. I should just to like get myself like on more of a regiment.
Yeah.
But I just keep it around to keep me happy and distracted from like too much social media bullshit.
It's true. I mean, especially with like all this quarantine stuff. I mean, it's definitely. I found myself like the first couple days like super motivated, like, oh, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be great. And then like halfway through the first week and a half, because I've been quarantined basically since, or doing this like the social distancing stuff since the 13th. That's when like work stopped.
Damn.
Of
Yeah,
March.
what day are we going on here? That's day 13. It's the 26th now.
Is it? Oh, dude, yeah. So it'd be 13 days today that I've like it's been almost 2 weeks that I've been social distancing, if you will, but like because my
Big
work
deal.
completely stopped. Like we closed up shop. We're no longer going to be open till the earliest, like mid-April.
For what?
So I'm a coffee roaster.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, so that's what I do for a living now. That and all this, but
Love it.
um
I
and then
love coffee.
editing and stuff like that, but
That sucks though. It's on
it's,
hold.
what can you do, right? I mean, it's the
Yeah,
service industry, it's hospitality. So like we can't.
right. Same here. I work a side job as a bar back or like in a warehouse, and neither of which are thriving right now or even happening.
Dude,
So,
it's I mean, like that was actually another thing. I mean, before, like I don't want to get, I want to get back to the art thing, but how are you doing with being like, you know, in this coronavirus thing?
um, I'm chilling. I mean, I actually hurt my foot a few days before this whole quarantine thing happened. So it feels like honestly nothing has changed for me. Like I would have been quarantining myself anyway, just so I don't get like ahead of myself and try and skate when I'm not ready and just like reverse my healing time.
Yeah.
Because I already did that once now on this injury. I thought I was good and then like went and skated that LA high rail that got put in just because I always wanted to skate it and just reversed my healing like a week. So, and then it rained for like a week and a half and I was just loving it.
Yeah.
Started chipping away at all these paintings again. But it's, I went like a week and a half without bread because I couldn't get any at the supermarket. That was
Yeah.
interesting.
That dude, honestly, that bread thing's interesting to me because like I haven't been like the biggest bread person, like only for sandwiches, like that's pretty much it. But
Mm.
yeah, I don't know. Like now I find myself like I went to Walmart yesterday and like I fucking got like a loaf of bread and I put it in the freezer and I was like, I might just need to hold on to that just in case.
Right? You don't realize how much you like it until it's not available.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of like
Or like,
I can relate to what you were saying is like I actually when this whole quarantine thing started at first, I was like, okay, yeah, like editing and doing filming and stuff, it'll be fine. But then like when everything started shutting down, it was like, okay, cool. Like it's raining and not everybody can't do it because I'm like super into jujitsu and I got hurt.
Yeah.
I I had like a torn labrum. So I was like, oh shit, like it's gonna take forever. I want to get back. And now nobody's training. It's like, oh, okay, well, it's not gonna miss too much, but
Exactly.
it was yeah, I feel you on like the getting hurt thing. That was definitely I would be doing this anyways, but at the same time, now that you're like you can't go out and see the homies or you can't even just like go out to have a beer with somebody, it's like, oh wow, this is a little tough, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely taken a turn. I don't know, not for, I mean, for the worse, for sure, just
Yeah.
like economy wise, but I think it's good for me because it's been getting me to like finish a bunch of like art projects and getting organized in life where usually I can just like put that on hold and go skate
Yeah.
or like go to an art show or something or go out to dinner with some homies. It's a good realization to like chip away at things that I've been putting off because now there's no excuse. I have time.
Yeah. Yeah. Tons of
All I've got.
time. um
Not seeing my barber. Not gonna shave my face till this is all fucking over.
dude, that's the same.
I
I
just
was
want to
like,
like come out of this like, whew, day 40. Here we are.
just a big ass fucking beard and shit.
Yeah. Longest I've ever grown this is like a month, so we'll see how long this goes on for.
Dude, I was talking to my homie the other day, like I hadn't left the house, literally. I hadn't even stepped out of my door in 2 days. And
Damn.
um I like I hit up my homie who's like working remotely because he works in tech, and he answered my FaceTime call and he was all, dude, I gotta get out of the house. That's how he answered the phone. And I was like, all right, like come over to my house. Like I haven't left my house in 2 days. Let's go. He's like, oh, like let's go shred. So we just like social distance skating, type shit, skated around
Mhm.
the neighborhood. And I was talking to my other homie like on like a DM, right? Like when I was out skating, and he was like, dude, your beard's looking tough right now. And I was like, bro, it's like a hockey player. I'm not gonna get rid of it until this whole thing's done. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna just let it keep going. So I'm thinking it's probably gonna be like out here by the time this is over.
Dude, that's beast. Just
Dude,
savage.
caveman, bro.
Yeah,
um,
caveman for sure.
but I wanted to get back to the art pieces. Is that
For sure.
have you always
I
been into
found this
art?
I've I well just a quick story. And this canvas behind me, I saw somebody throwing it out one day when I was leaving James Buckman's place in Venice. And it was just like a cool like waterfall painting. It's like almost as tall as me. I was like, you're getting rid of this right now? I'll take that. And it had just been sitting in my room for a while and brought it to my homie's studio and like put a paint roller over most of it
Yeah.
and then started painting this little orange character. But I have it on my wall right now to remind me to add some blue hair to him. But I kind of need to bring it outside to do that, or else I'm just gonna get my whole place covered in paint.
Yeah. It'll be a little fumey in there, huh? With all the
It's
paint.
kind of fun to like be messy when I'm painting. So
Okay.
for bigger stuff like that, I like to work in bigger spaces that I
That's
don't have.
that's
But
really cool though that you because I could see what you're talking about, like the green and the blues right there. Like
yeah,
they,
I definitely would. It's definitely asking for some blue hair with all the orange, I think. My homie came over the other day and said the same thing too. So I was like, all right,
so
one of
you do
these
like
days I'm gonna do it.
abstract art then. It's like that's what it'd be
Kinda,
considered.
yeah. Yeah, I guess you could say that. It's just my imagination, but just a profile of a person.
It's like what?
I like drawing characters from my imagination, but it's also fun to like look at real photos too for reference. It's it's really easy to get down on myself when I'm drawing like human bodies and like proportions. So that's when I pull out like a real photo and like look at somebody. Skate mags have been helping. I was drawing Grant Taylor doing like a lean air the other day. I was like, yes, this is exactly the person I need to like study doing this. Or like, oh,
But like that's, dude, that, it's interesting that you say like you're drawing it from your imagination, but you get down on yourself about like drawing real people. But it's like the one thing that I noticed, because my father's an artist. He's been
sick.
an artist my whole life. Like I've been surrounded by canvases and paintings, and he's very, very good. He does photorealism, like
Ooh.
like portraits specifically. Like he went to like
Hmm.
the Academy of Florence, or like art academy, some art place in Florence, like recently, a couple years ago.
Cool.
Old, and like, and my dad's like 73 and he's still painting these like amazing portraits, like stuff you would see from like in like Italy when like Michelangelo's painting like these like photorealism things. Um,
Sick.
I don't
That's
understand.
amazing.
Yeah,
Keep
and I don't
up for
understand
that.
how he does it. He can do it, Um,
Hmm. Does he use oils or
oh yeah,
acrylics? Yeah.
all of it. Like, dude, he'll freehand it, like oils, acrylics. He, dude,
That's
he, dude, he can do stuff with pens, like I don't, and pencil, like that's his gift. That is really his gift. He's blessed with that, with his hand. But
that's rad.
he is very classically trained, and that was one thing that when I saw you doing your art and I didn't know that you did that, I wanted to know, is this like always been something that you've been doing? Did you get classically trained? Did you have art growing up? Has this always been like a part of your life in general?
I mean, my introduction was just in school, like art classes. I took a couple art classes in high school, and then I started graphic design for college when I was still living in Vermont. So I got like all the required classes out of the way in person, and then started taking more classes online since I moved. And that's been a huge pushing, motivating factor, because taking like drawing and painting and photography and learning all these programs on the computer, like through the Adobe suites, have really helped me like hone my skills and just understand like the infinite possibilities that art offers. So I've been trying to like have a healthy balance of like doing stuff by hand and then enhancing it on the computer.
Gotcha.
I'd
Gotcha.
say the intro to animation class was like the most beneficial to me so far,
Really?
just because it like made me believe in myself and how good things take time. Like I had dreaded that class since I started this whole program like 9 years ago, eight, almost 10. But once I finally took it, I was just like, oh, these are just like a bunch of drawings like overlapping. And you can bring drawings to life that way, and slowly starting to incorporate them into skate videos. And it's just like what I've wanted to do with it. It's just giving skating like a little spice to it.
Well, that actually brings me to like another point that I wanted to bring up, is that one thing that I noticed over all your parts. Like I watched your pro part, which was amazing, by the way.
Thanks.
I watched, see what the new
That was
driveway
the first,
part. Oh,
that
go
was
ahead.
the first one, the pro part I've had an animation in.
Yeah, I mean,
So
dude, you're, but even like with just your animations and your art and like your new
I did
driveway
have
part, the
I did
toxic.
get some painting in the new driveway one. I was
Yeah,
like, Tom had that idea, and for the Toxic Planet.
yeah, you were like on a roof, like painting that, like
Yeah.
that blue
Hmm.
thing, like a face with like, and then you did I really thought it was really cool how you did like the blue slashes around the iris of the face, like
Thanks. Like
in the
he
eyelids.
had apples in his eyes.
Was that what it was? It was apples. Okay,
Yeah, and he's like holding one big apple.
dude, it was super cool. And what I liked about all those parts is that, and I don't know why I thought of this, but as soon as I saw that you were doing your artwork, and then I see your Instagram and you post your art on your Instagram as well, and then I watched your parts. I was like, yo, for me, it like it went hand in hand in the sense where your creativity in skateboarding, like you have your pro part and your dude, your war and peace part, like 10 minutes of footage, and it's just like hammers, hammers, gnarly, gnarly, gnarly. And then you have like your new driveway part and your
Thank
toxic
you.
part, which are gnarly, but way more fun and like
Hmm.
feeling and like creative. Like when you did that kick flip front 50 to like rock and then like go back on the bench the other way and then like did like board slide
Yeah.
pop over. Like, does your art cross over into how you create when you skate?
I'm not like thinking about it at the time, but I- I'll just put it this way. When I get back from a day, if I've had a good productive day of skating, I like to continue that energy and draw or paint something that night.
Okay.
Like it's a lot easier for me to be creative at night if I've done something creative during the day. It just like kind of triggers it. And if I had a bad day skating, like I probably don't want to keep creating at night. It's like it's a weird balance there. But my homie Steve Mole was saying the opposite. He likes to go home and draw if he's had like not the best day skating, so he can like make up for it. So it's all how you look at it. I've been trying to like bounce back and forth. So if I do have a bad day, I'll like pop myself into Steve's mindset and try and make something to make up for it. And then on a good day, I'll just pop back into my own head and keep creating. But I've been trying hard to like, I've been trying to not incorporate skating into my art as much, but I seriously can't help it. It's just like all I'm thinking about, and it's so easy because practice makes perfect in anything, and I'm starting to understand like how bodies look on the board and like doing proper grabs and tucking the knee, and I can slowly now draw these from my imagination, like a good lean air or like a tuck knee or back smith. So that's been really fun, just like using these imaginative characters and giving them like legs doing a proper backsmith.
Damn, that's
It's
really
fun.
cool. That's really cool,
I'll show
dude.
you one example here.
Yeah, let me see.
I just did this interview for this magazine called Frank
Okay.
from New York.
Sick.
I actually got interviewed at Brooklyn Projects.
Is the California Bear skating? That's
It
sick.
is, yeah, this is the LA issue.
It's tight.
So Alex Corcoran asked me to do this interview, and then afterwards he asked me for some photos and some art for the interview. And then he asked me to draw something else for the actual issue. And I just sent him this little guy holding the magazine, doing a backsmith, and it made it in. I'm
Damn.
stoked.
Dude, that does look proper too, because the feet are all bent the right way, like they're pointing the right way.
It's like close enough, right?
Dude, no, it is. It fully is. And you got like the pool coping too,
So,
so it looks legit as fuck.
yeah, I wish the quarter pipe was a little steeper, but it's all right.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
But he sent me a mock-up of this drawing that's on one of these shirts that they made with the Harold Hunter Foundation too.
Really?
So like just crazy how things like spiral like that.
Dude, can I see it again? I want to like.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna
I
film it.
ran into Alex at Mike Blabak's art show here in LA.
Yes.
And he's like, yo, I'm out here to do interviews at Brooklyn Projects tomorrow for Frank. You want to come by? I was like, yeah, for sure.
Dude, that's gangster. I like
Nice,
that.
thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Um,
my homie Widow like shot this one. It's like the opening spread, just me doing like a power slide, LA in the back.
backside too. That's
I'm
steezy, bro.
stoked.
Dude, LA looks so good in black and white, and like from above, it just looks so epic,
No, the palm trees. He nailed it on that one. He shot that in like 2013 or something. It's just been sitting on my computer.
Damn, really?
Yeah, that was Echo Park for sure.
Dude, that's really cool. I mean, I
Yeah, it
think
was an honor that they threw me in this issue.
it's a pretty,
Just like,
that's not like a book. That's not even like a mag.
it's pretty thick. Yeah, I mean the
Oh, it
pages
is a
are pretty
mag.
thick.
Okay.
It's a mag, but
But
it's a
it's like
good
that
one.
good quality paper though, right there.
Yeah, it's thick.
Man.
They had a cool little release party out here. That was fun.
Yeah, man. I mean, so with, all
But
this,
yeah, I'm trying to disperse my art into more mediums like this. Just like tangible stuff people can see and touch. I just bought some tote bags that my friend's gonna help me screen print some art onto. Just like trying to get a little more creative in these times of quarantine.
yeah, and uncertainty. um,
Yeah.
have you thought about doing like an art show or anything like that?
Yeah, I just had one in Vermont actually
Did you?
in December.
Oh, wow.
I was stoked. Like a week after my pro party in LA, I flew back to Vermont and I had mailed out a lot of art and my homies helped hang it because the timing didn't work out where I could be there to hang it.
Mhm.
But we were still able to have a little function at this, my favorite local coffee shop called Uncommon Grounds. And
Sick.
it's sad because they had to close down for good on the 23rd of December. So I got to have like the last art show in there.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Dude.
that place had been like my favorite ever since I was actually going to school in person
Whoa.
when I was like 18. And then, yeah, fast forward 10 years, I got to have an art show there. And none of the pieces sold there, but it was so cool to just have them up and have people like chilling around there for a couple days.
Well, yeah, I mean,
But
it's
I
sentimental.
took all the art from the coffee shop and then brought it to my local park, Talent. They were reopening as a nonprofit in a different location. So I sold all the art there to like parents and friends.
It was at
So
the, sorry, you cut out a little bit there. Was that where? That your local park, you said?
yeah, Talent. Like
Town.
the park I grew up at,
Yeah.
they had to close their doors last summer
Damn.
and they just reopened their doors in a new location under a nonprofit now, right next door to Burton.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's so sick. It's a
Damn.
little smaller of a space, but it's like recreation of the park.
Damn. That's
It's
pretty
so
weird.
sick.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was glad to be there for like a little pre-opening. We got a bunch of people to come out and yeah, just got to say hi and see a bunch of old faces.
Damn. And everybody's like super hyped for you, I'm assuming, with going pro, doing the damn thing.
Yeah, it was pretty overwhelming.
Really?
That's where it really set in because like LA was sick. Obviously, like I'd been around all these people since I moved here, but to see like people I grew up around was a trip
Yeah.
coming out. Like, yeah, my photography teacher from high school showed up and grandma and just so many friends.
Yes,
It was cool.
Gma.
Ben and Jerry's hooked up like a little stand and they were giving out free ice cream because I went to middle school with a kid who like runs marketing for them now. So I've been keeping in touch and trying to like just show them love in any way possible.
Be the first skater with an ice cream sponsor.
Dude, I'm working on a flavor, but that might be down the road.
Dude, that would be so sick if you had your own flavor.
I
Dude,
know. Fingers crossed.
dude, that's
They
amazing.
already gave one to this girl, Hannah Teeter, but she won a gold medal in the Olympics, so I get that.
All right, all right. I
But
mean,
yeah, it was called Maple Blondie. It's fire.
Maple Blondie.
Mm-hmm.
Damn,
It
that
was
does sound
good.
pretty good.
But yeah, that stuff's dangerous. It's so
um,
good though.
Dude, so
But yeah, my calves were on fire after that day from standing all day.
dude, I bet. I
It
mean,
was a good time though.
people are out there to celebrate you too as well. I mean, you've reached this pinnacle in your profession, in your craft, in your passion, if you will. And
Hmm.
everybody there is to celebrate you, especially in your hometown. I mean, I don't think there's a better way to do it than do it that way. I mean, yeah, it's definitely cool to have like all the pros and the mags and everybody around, but like you said, like it really hits home is when you go back home to like a smaller area, then it's not like 15 million people in LA or 10 million whatever, and
Hmm.
then you go home to like your I'm assuming like a smaller town where it's like very everybody knows everybody kind of vibe.
Yes, exactly. And I was just stoked like my brother could come out because my parents came to LA for this event at Brooklyn Projects we did, but I wish my brother had made it. So it was good to like circle back and make sure everybody I wanted to be there in celebration was there.
Dude, that's super epic. That is super epic.
Because
I
he
mean,
got me into skating in the first place. So
well, that's actually I wanted to we like didn't even go over that. It's like how did you start skating in the first place?
it's just that little brother syndrome. Saw my older brother doing something. I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Started with like a Toys R Us board and then slowly adapted to like the local skate shop at the time, which was called Cherry Bone in my hometown of Williston. And then that closed, and then Talent Skate Park opened when I was 10, a year later in 2001. And that's where I really like fell in love with skating, started making friends from other towns and just figuring life out a little bit more each day,
Yeah.
you know,
Damn.
going through puberty, like going through middle school, skating really kept me grounded there.
The hijinks, did you have any like hijinks moments, of course, or no, just like were you just like super grounded with skateboarding?
For sure. Like, I don't know, definitely like still trying to figure life out at this point, but I was really, really figuring it out then.
Yeah. Yeah.
But had a couple close homies that we stuck it out through skating with.
Dude,
So
rad.
that helped.
Yeah, of
I
course. I mean,
definitely felt like an outcast because like not many people skated at that time. I was hanging out with like older dudes, like guys my brother's age, 3 years older, like
okay.
Chris Whitaker.
Okay. I mean, same, dude. I mean, I definitely can relate to that. I mean, my freshman year in high school, we had all of my like well, there was four of us, and then there was my immediate homies. They had two. There was like two older brothers, and so they would like take us off campus and like get to have lunch and stuff like that. But it definitely we small, very like outcasty. And then as soon as they left in our sophomore year, there was four of us in the whole school, and it was like that was it at the time. And now, I mean, now everybody skates and everybody's got a board or something of the sort. But
Mm-hmm.
I kind of miss those days when it was like I remember going to school and you'd have like a S hoodie on or something like that, and it was like right around Medic Madi time, and it was just like only you and your homies
Yes.
knew about like Tom Penny. Like everybody's like, "Oh, Tony Hawk's Pro Skateboarder," but it's like if you were a skateboarder, you were like SXLs, S hoodie. It's like, dude, I feel like Tom Penny right now, or something like.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Dude,
man. I was watching that the other night.
dude, were you?
Tom Penny's bar is timeless.
Bro,
Arto, Costin, Bob.
dude, Ronnie Krieger, his whole part is to like a voicemail, like,
Yes. His intro, he's like, hey, man, Fred, yeah, I don't know what to do for this intro. I think we're just going to have to cut it.
yeah, it's him just
But it's
shredding a
funny.
ledge.
The line is too long for the voicemail to make it to the end of, though. It's
Yep,
comedy. But
dude,
I realized he does a little finger flip in a line in that part, which is amazing because I've been doing those lately.
dude, yeah, he did.
It's like the step hop finger flip. He does it off a curb.
I remember exactly what you're talking about because he was wearing those like gray and white S's, like the ones that he
Like the
always wore.
chunky ones.
Yeah, like those things are so ugly.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness,
Dude, thank you, French Fred, for making that video.
dude.
And
Ardo Spark.
sorry. I'm really sorry.
Oh my god, yeah, dude. All those videos. Damn, dude. Switch front
I'm
board.
stoked to have gotten to like hang out with that dude a little bit.
Did you really?
Yeah, I got to like wander around SF with him and shoot some photos like 2 years ago with my friend Dominic Walker
Hmm.
and Mike Kirshner.
Do you
It
ever
was a
like?
trip.
Do you ever
He would
trip
leave
out?
in the he would leave in the morning and just get himself lost so he could like find cool lighting. And he
Really?
came back one morning and was like, yeah, I just ran into Phelps, like got a photo of him. He told me it might be the last photo I shoot of him. And I was like, damn, that's wild.
Did he really say that?
Yeah. And now like
And he
come
passed.
full circle, like I think it was.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's so heavy. Why did?
Yeah. I guess you could just catch that dude around if you like just wandered around SF. He was always on foot or
Dude,
skating around.
he. I saw Phelps. He was like he he like came into like the coffee shop that I was working at when I first started in coffee, and
Really?
he walked in, and this is in San Diego, and I froze, bro, and I just looked at him, and like he could see my city tat on my arm, and he's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Are you from the Bay Area?" I was like, "Hell yeah!" And then like I was just like, "Oh shit," like grown ass man, just like, "Dude, this is Michael. This is not Michael Phelps. It's Jake Phelps." And then the barista who I was standing next to, I was like, "Can you take a photo of us?" Like, and he was like, "Let him know where
Really?
we at. Like, let him know where we're from, son." And I was just like,
Damn, that's sick.
it was right after that Cinco de Mayo triple set contest that happened down
Okay.
here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
Where Shane O'Neill got smoked.
dude, maybe I think he did, yeah. But like, it was like Ryan DeCenzo,
Oh, he
like,
made it. He was like skating like a week later or something.
dude, that's
Chilling.
yeah. I don't know how that dude skates, bro. That guy is so good,
Magic.
dude.
But that's so sick. Phelps sighting.
Dude, it's just
I got to meet him once and it was pretty brief, but at like the King of the Road final episode, I went out to like the little party they had in LA here when Element won. But Evan Smith like brought me over when they were standing in a circle. I was like, yo, you should fucking talk to this dude. So just got to like rap out with him for a hot minute.
dude.
Nothing too crazy, but
Hey, it's a blessing though, man. He's a legend, Like
yeah.
any moment you get to like be around that like legendary dudes who got to start everything, it does make a difference.
Yeah, it's pretty impactful just to like be around them for a second.
Yeah, I mean, especially too when they're like older, I guess you could say. Like they might not be as crazy, or maybe they're still just as crazy, but like a little bit more seasoned in a sense where they're like they've been around the block for a hot minute, and it's just like you
Mhm.
can kind of like they exude this. I don't want to say confidence, but they exude just this, I don't know, energy, if you will.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
you're right.
amazing.
Right. No bullshit.
Definitely no bullshit. But dude, I mean, you know, we're coming close up on an hour and 20 right now. I just wanted to
Oh, sick.
I just wanted
Time
to
flies.
basically close it out. Like I always like to ask like our guests,
We were
what's
gonna talk about New Balance, right?
oh, dude, yes, I totally forgot.
I'm
Let's
in
talk
no
about New
rush
Balance.
here.
Huh?
I'm in no rush.
Okay. Yeah, tell me about New Balance.
They're fucking sick. They've been supporting me for like 5 years now.
Well, you were
It
on Huff before.
should have been longer, but yeah, I was on Huff for a bit. On my first Element road trip, Levi Brown like asked me if I wanted to skate New Balance shoes, and I was like, oh, I'm riding for Huff right now, but like, let me get back to you about that. And I like stuck it out with Huff for like another year at that point, and they brought me on a road trip and didn't really work out. And I'm just grateful to have reached back out to Levi because they've been giving me shoes ever since and have been super supportive and fun to skate with, all the team guys. And it's just great to like have this type of technology under my feet. Like I was jumping off this jump ramp yesterday for hours in these cup soles and felt great.
Yeah.
Even though I'm still healing my ankle, like I can comfortably skate in these cup soles and feel a little more stable than I'm used to.
Well, yeah, I mean, New Balance is they for years were a running shoe company. Like,
Yeah, they still are. They like
yeah.
own running on the
Oh
East
yeah,
Coast, especially.
dude. I mean,
But
I've
it's
been a
cool. The
runner.
skate section is like growing and growing.
Well, and stylish. That's what the thing is. Like, dude, they make these shoes that are so amazingly durable, comfortable. They take impact real well, and I'm assuming because that's the running background. But then they're super stylish.
Yeah, yeah. The shoe designers are killing it over there. Like Jeff Mikett, he had footage and forecast,
Damn, throwback right now.
but now he's a shoe designer for them and he's crushing it. There's a bunch of good people over there. Like it's cool that Chad Tim Tim's like helping team manage too. It's
Yeah,
just it's really fun to go skate with those dudes.
dude. I mean,
Hard,
you're on like
hard
a
not to
heavy
fan
paint.
out.
What's that?
Hard not to fan out sometimes.
Dude, his switch game is so tough too. Like, still got it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
dude,
Just switch crooks for
when
days.
you skate with any of the New Balance guys or get to skate in any of those like amazing, like I don't even want to call them videos. I mean, they are videos, but they're like art pieces, like
Yeah.
visual art pieces. They're like any of their videos that go up on Thrasher or anywhere. But it's like, do you? How do you feel when you get to be a part of stuff like that?
I mean, even getting like one guest trick in the montage means the world to me.
Yeah,
So it's fun to like look back on like all the sessions and all the shoes even they provided, and even past that, just like moral support.
yeah,
It feels great to just like be a little bit involved with a company that feels genuine and like supports like working class skaters and guys who are like insanely creative and not just like podium stars, you know?
damn, that's a good way. I've never really heard it being put that way, but that's a really good way to look at it right there. Working class skaters, not podium stars, people who are just
Yeah,
out
but
there getting it in.
fucking they're grinding though. Like Tom K's new part was so sick in that string theory video.
Yeah, yeah,
He's like matching his clothing two spots and like just doing the most creative tricks and just well thought out shit. Like Jordan Taylor too, and Davis is now on. Always been a fan
Farmington.
of Davis, like since I started going to Top Shop contests at Third Layer.
Oh damn.
Who else? Big favorites over there. Tom Knox, I just got to meet at Tampa Pro. Or not meet, but like get to know a little bit.
Yeah,
He is like one of the nicest dudes.
Tyler Surrey.
And just quick feet too. Tyler Surrey too. Yep. Big fan. Fuck. Jordan Trahan, East Coast powerhouse right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I
Five
think
Borough.
he's getting on chocolate. Stoked for him.
Oh, what? He's leaving Five Borough?
Yeah. It was in Thrasher, so this is no secret.
Oh,
But
okay, okay.
it's like still not announced, so I'm not gonna like confidently say it, but I'm just going off what I read in print, speculation.
All right, all right. I'm actually, it's funny you say that because I was just talking to Nardelli 2 days ago, and he's going to
Sick.
be on the show, I think, here.
Really?
I think we're going to shoot for, we were shooting for the end of this week, but I think it's going to be next week we're going to do it because I wanted to talk to him as well about, I mean, dude, not only is he doing Five Borough and he's been one of my homies for a long time, but uh, I want to see how he's doing living in Lower East Side Manhattan, where like things are,
Right now?
yeah,
Yeah, where there's like the most cases popping up.
yeah, it's the epicenter of the United States. Like,
That's hectic.
and he's still living and he's still like going to the skate park and like shredding. Like,
Yeah, I would be too. Fuck.
dude, I mean,
What else are you gonna do?
it's really tough, like I think, I mean, not to get sidetracked on New Balance, but like
Hmm.
going, it's like finding that fine line, right? You, if you're gonna go out to like a Walmart yesterday, like I'm not gonna lie, dude, I had a N95 mask on yesterday when I was in Walmart. Like
Hmm.
there's so many people in there, and it's not like I don't, it's not that I don't, that I'm sick, but it's like I don't know, you don't know about anything these days. Like people are asymptomatic, maybe they're sick and they don't know it, whatever. But
Yeah,
it's like
gotta be
if you're gonna
cautious.
go, yeah, you got to be cautious, but it's like if you're gonna go out like go skate with your homie and you know you're not gonna be around people, it's like
Hmm. What's up with that cough?
oh, hey man, hey man. I'm just clearing my throat.
Gotta sit back here.
Yo, you
We're just
calm
fun.
down. No, man, it's
Just
just,
fucking with you. I love how like one person sneezes and like everyone looks at the other person. It's like fuck.
dude. Have you seen the memes? It's like when people, it's like in 2020, or like it said like every other year, but 2020, if people sneeze, it'd be like bless you or gesundheit. 2020, it's like people looking up from their like burritos, like
It's like get the fuck away from me.
yeah, dude. There was one like I watched The Breakfast Club. It's like a hip hop music. Have you heard of like Charlemagne the God, DJ Envy, any of those people in New York City?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They Charlemagne the God does this thing called like Donkey of the Day, and he was like talking about Donkey of the Day was like Rudy Gobert, like the dude from the Utah Jazz who got like the NBA sick essentially.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that guy. And so as he's like talking about it in the mic, like, yo, this guy's the Donkey of the Day, the cameraman who's like standing next to Charlemagne the God and DJ Angela Yee is like, he's like, here, she's here, he's here, and he's like, like coughs and like coughs, and he's like, they all look at him, and she's like, oh my god, that's disgusting, and he's like, you gonna cough at a time like this? You're gonna cough at you're really gonna cough at a time like this? He's like, that is just disgusting. It's like, bro, how far have we come? Like, you can't even like clear your throat no more. Like,
I know. Without feeling like a suspect.
dude, for real, people. I mean, like, I get it, especially in New York City, but like, damn, bro. And I was talking to my homie about this yesterday when we were skating,
Yeah,
or
there's
2 days ago. It's like, you don't even. This could potentially change how we interact with each other. And like,
hmm.
once this is all done, you don't even know if you're gonna be able to trust your homies. You're not gonna like dap them up as much or like hug people as much. But it's like,
Dude, the homie Jordan Taylor actually just broke it down perfectly, exactly what you're talking about in this Instagram account he has called Shorts Over Pants. It's like his little like acting side gig kind of outlet, but he's just like alter ego, like him talking to himself. But it's like, so bro, you want to hang out? It's like, no, I don't. It's like, not sure if I even want to hang out with you after this. Then it's like, all right, fuck you then. And it's like, actually, come on over. You got to check this once we're done.
shorts over pants.
Yeah,
All right, all one
he
word,
could seriously like have a career in acting if he wants. Shit's comedy.
dude. I definitely want to watch it because that. I mean, bro, like I think for me it was funny. I was talking to my mother about this yesterday. She was saying that she feels like this thing has made her feel more vulnerable, and that like you just because you don't know. But for me, I
Hmm.
told her when I was sharing my thoughts, like when we were talking, I was like, for me, I don't feel vulnerable. Like I've been by myself for a long time. Like I can handle things. I think for me, what this has changed has been it makes me miss like the social interaction of just being able to hug your friends and like being
Yeah,
able to like, dude, honestly, like dap them up, like, dude, how you doing, bro? Like, come here, let me give you a hug. Like really just have
right.
that
I haven't
connection,
really, yeah, I haven't had a hug in a while.
dude. Right?
It's
It's
not
like,
cool.
dude, it's you really. I feel like what we were talking about earlier in the conversation. It was like things that you took for granted, and
Hmm.
I really have realized that I took giving hugs to even like my closest friends really for granted. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, have you? have you like what do you think that you've missed in this whole thing, like that you've like are starting to miss, I should say?
I think like just I don't know, crewing up with like a bunch of homies,
Yeah.
or like getting like a car full of friends and going skating.
Yeah.
I've been skating with my roommate because we're around each other anyway. But
Exactly.
yeah, I think that hype, having like homies around,
Yeah.
you can't imitate that.
Dude, I mean that's completely true. I did this whole thing. I have like two really good friends, like, and
I think
one is
I
my
think
training
that
partner, and she also works with me. So I've literally spent every day for months with this girl, and then at the same time, I have my other friend Ray Ray, who these are the only two people I've seen since this whole thing has started, and it's like even though we live in separate houses and stuff like that, it's like, dude, I would have got sick from you already because I was spending so much time with you already. So it's like, but even that, like being with them, like I don't even like,
I know, it's like,
you can't even like dap them up. It's just like, hey, how you doing? You know, like,
yeah, some people are hella paranoid too. Like they don't even want to hang out. And I understand too, I do, because you don't even know the symptoms for 2 weeks.
yeah.
This is like an invisible enemy. But what else do I miss? Playing cards. Been playing like a lot of card games at the Warble House close by.
What's
All the
that?
moles. My homies from Vermont. I
Okay.
didn't end up meeting them until I moved to California, really, except for Steve. But they grew up like 2 hours away from me. Now they live like 5 minutes away here in Los Angeles.
Random.
Yeah, it's sick. Been
They
skating
all
with them a
skate too?
bunch. They made the Toxic Planet and New Driveway videos.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Cool.
Warble guys.
Dude, is that what the oh
Yeah, they were
oh
supposed to.
that's the
They were
Instagram.
supposed to premiere a video. Yeah,
Dude.
man ramp.
I'm so glad you reminded me of that because I do follow them on Instagram, but the thing that I saw in your parts was the W, and that was
Yeah.
the W from the Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it all makes sense now.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
okay,
they're
okay.
crushing it.
Dude, yeah, and then you did that. They were holding that like that piece of wood, like your homie was like in the construction suit and he's holding like,
Right.
dude, how in the fuck did you do that? It didn't hurt him to like hold hold up a piece of wood while you're riding down it?
Well, first of all, he's ripped. He like grew up wrestling
Oh, okay.
and just like always works out and great skater. He knows what's going on. He wears the gloves, he puts the helmet on and just kind of like powers through it for like the time being. I'm always apologizing every time I'm skating him. I'm just like, I'm sorry.
Every time
Sorry,
you're
dude.
skating him.
Right here. Yeah, it's fun. He skating that dude makes a lot of spots like that aren't skatable.
Dude,
It's fun. It's really fun. They got a lot more shit coming out soon.
really?
Yeah,
Dude,
they're
that's
doing
rad.
they're working on like a series for Man Ramp.
That's pretty
So
rad, dude, that you get to like do you feel that maybe that keeps you sane in a sense because it gives you a little piece of like a little reminder of home almost?
I mean, I never like skated him or with them back in Vermont when I was growing up, so it gives me like a sense of home in LA, honestly. But having been back home and skated with them in Vermont, like really makes me understand like how close of friends they are, because we all like come from the same place and share similar values, and yeah, just love skating. So it brought us together, and it's fun to like see this man ramp thing going off. Like people around the world are dressing up as him as Halloween, and Tony Hawk called him an icon.
What?
And yeah, just seeing like more like people coming through and getting cameos on him are sick.
Dude, it's so funny just hearing you say like skate him, getting cameos on him. Like,
Yeah. Dude, it's nonstop. He just upgraded. He he came home with like a 8-foot piece of wood.
Damn.
Like he's usually using like a 4x5 or something,
Mm-hmm.
4 foot by 5 foot, but this one's like 3 feet by 8 feet. So it's like
Damn.
opening up even more options. It's fucked.
Dude, that's so crazy. I can't like, why did they do
It's
that?
terrifying though too.
What's
Why?
that?
Like how did it start?
Yeah, why did that all start?
Um, Here's my perspective on it. They were filming this segment back in Vermont, like Dave and Steve and Tom, called Surface Plywood, where they were bringing this piece of plywood around to different spots and skating it. They had done a couple other surface episodes, like Surface Ice, where they only skate ice. And they were skating this piece of plywood, and we brought it to a little bench. I was tagging along with them one day and propped it up on the side of the bench to like try and stall the back of it, and it cracked. So the homie Brian Glennie, who was with us, just hopped under the ramp, like not even thinking, and supported me so I could do the pivot on the back of the bench, and it worked perfectly. And they continued their day doing the surface thing, and that kind of like stuck out to them, and they got their buddy Alex to dress up and like started doing it more often. And Dave is like so small, he's like very lightweight, worked perfectly, and he's just like has a need for reckless skating. So that's like right up his alley. If it's not a roof, it's like a shaky man ramp trick onto a big ass rail. But it's always sketchy being like trying to balance on top of him, because like, yeah, you're trying to balance on your board and he's trying to balance you above him. There's like so many factors going into it. But it just turns like an ordinary spot into like something really fun.
Yeah.
Which I think has translated to a lot of people, because they could just do it with their homies, and all you need is like any surface and a piece of wood and a homie willing to sacrifice his body.
Well, I mean, dude, I feel like when I see stuff like that and so many people enjoy it, it's really not even about the skating anymore. You've transcended just skateboarding. It's like, I think, like the way I interpret it when I see it, and I see it in your parts, and it's so fun. People are like, especially when they're getting older, they're like, oh, dude, like it reminds them of how it used to be, or like they could still make fun shit and do fun stuff or be a part of the crew in a sense. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
can't skate that much, but hey, you've been working out and you still hang out with your homies, I'm gonna stand here with a piece of wood, you know? Like
Exactly. Bring something to the table.
Yep, yep.
It like sparks that like little kid hype that we all once had.
Dude, I mean, that's that's as far as you can go. I mean, what do you think? I mean, you've been pro now for a couple months. Um, you've been skating for 20 years. I mean, do you have, I don't want to say like a backup plan, but do you have future plans of have you thought about like life after skateboarding? Or are you just going to keep trying to ride this wave until it finishes?
You know, I've been like lately I've been thinking about that term backup plan, and it feels like kind of negative when I think about it in comparing to skating, or like relating it to where I'm at,
Yeah.
because I've got to where I am through skating. So I want to continue that in some way, some shape or form. Maybe not necessarily like working solely in the industry, like forever, but I would love to stay involved in one way or another. At the moment, I see potential in this nonprofit that started in Vermont called the Chill Foundation, where they teach skating, snowboarding, paddleboarding, and surfing to kids all around the country. But they started in Vermont, and now they're in 15 cities, and I'm a skate ambassador for them at the moment. So I'm just trying to help them like get the LA skate program off the ground. And make it better each year. So I see a lot of potential with them moving forward and hopefully like becoming more and more involved because it's only getting better and like more funding. So it's sick.
Dude, that's rad.
And other than that, I just want to take like doing art a little more seriously, but not like solely rely off creative abilities for an income eventually.
Yeah.
So mix in some business there. Yeah, hopefully make some investments. This company my brother works for is doing really good things. I want to buy some stock in them once they go public.
There you go. Yeah. Play that
But
stock market a little bit.
yeah, other than that, it's trying to take what I've learned more seriously, dive into more graphic design and try and make myself more valuable to the companies I skate for so I could like work for them down the line if
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah. I mean, you have so many outlets of and creativity. I mean, dude, there's somebody like yourself who can create, whether it's skating, create whether it's art, do these avenues, and then you continue to develop your craft and your skills. I mean, it's inevitable that you'll just keep, you know, rising to the top. The cream rises to the top every time. So
Thanks. Yeah, it's always a little unsettling to like think about the unknown, but it's also motivating to see people like doing good things who have stayed productive. I think just good things happen to good people, you know? Like as long as you like stay motivated in what you're doing at the time and bring something new to that table, then people will respond and respect that and hopefully work with you if it's meant to be.
do you do you ever get afraid of like sucking at things or like restarting at things?
Dude, yeah, I just went and bought a bass guitar off Tony Carr the other day.
Did you
And
really?
it's like I just need to accept the fact I'm gonna suck at it for a good like 6 months.
Yeah.
But it's okay because like anything, practice makes perfect. So it's just gonna take chipping away at it a little bit each day.
Yeah.
I have a dog too. That's like I suck at owning a dog. He's bit me numerous times. That's my
Damn.
fault because I need to be able to read him and train him. And nobody's perfect. He's
No.
not perfect. He's a
Yeah.
rescue dog, so I feel for him.
Yeah.
But it's on me to like make sure he doesn't bite a little kid or like bite me again or anybody I bring over.
It's real
So
talk.
that's been a whole new like life change. Is like being a dog parent.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I mean,
But
I had
definitely
a dog for
sucking at
13
that.
years, bro. It's it's tough.
I mean, he's still alive, so I'm not sucking that bad at it, but just understanding that nobody's perfect and just got to chip away at things that are worthwhile.
do you do you think that like the hardest part for you, I mean, like you said you just got a bass guitar, but like have you already started playing it, or do you have like a you're like, damn, I'm gonna today might be the day, and then like you just keep putting it off and putting it off, and then finally one day you're just gonna like, I'm gonna suck at this, and then you just go? Or do you just like, I'm gonna suck and I'm gonna do it today and that's it?
I need to be just chipping away at it like an hour each day, practicing chords and like getting the hand feelings right or the motions. Because I kind of learned left-handed when I was younger and then put it down. And I kind of learned right-handed a couple years ago and didn't really keep up with it. So I think it's definitely going to be good to have around for this quarantine thing. Because if I'm ever tired of doing art or skating, then I'll just work on the bass. But I want to get an amp. It's fun to like strum it now acoustic, but I want something vibrating like in my hands.
That you can like
Like
really
that.
hear,
Yeah,
like deep
and
in there.
play and like make some noise.
Dude, have you ever heard of the artist FKJ?
No.
Dude, he just on Instagram he has like, you know, hundreds of thousands of followers, but if you go to his YouTube channel, this dude The reason I'm saying this because it definitely reminds me of like what you just said about the quarantine thing.
Mm-hmm.
he this dude is like so musically talented. You should look at his Instagram. He just posted, I mean, his YouTube channel. He just posted a video yesterday, and it's called Boredom. This dude, like, he has millions of views on his YouTube channel where like he was in like the Louvre, and he has all these instruments set up around him, like guitars, mics, pianos, like basses, everything, and then he'll fucking like start playing like a piano beat, and then he'll like loop it, and then he'll like boom, he'll set that one, and then he goes and plays the guitar, and then he plays guitar
Yeah,
riff,
I
loops
love
that,
that.
and then he plays the sax, bro, and that's where he like plays the whole time,
What?
and it's so amazing. Like I've like fallen in love with watching this dude perform. And then he posted this video. I was on YouTube last night at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and he had just posted it like an hour ago. And it was called Boredom. And like his thing was like, people are complaining about this quarantine being something that like they're so bored and they don't know what to do. And he's like, his thing was like, if I was not bored, I would not have been able to do all of this and like learn all of these things and these instruments and doing these amazing things. And then he made a beat and like made a video and posted it like the same day. And it's like he shows it and it's like all cut up already, and it's just like be like he's on the piano, and then he like grabs a mic, he's like wow, and then like he just like starts doing all these things, and it's just like yes dude, and that just goes right to exactly what you're saying. It's like maybe we're looking at this the wrong way as like as a collective, and I mean it in the say like us as a people, like some people are still trying to hustle, like do their things like what we're doing right now, but instead of being bored, like why not just try to create or like do something that's going to like really be a positive and something that will reflect for a
Yeah, in the
positive
future.
way after this is over, and you can carry
Right.
on, you know.
Right. That craft that you've always like put off, or like something you want to do.
Dude, I just like, I don't know, it gets me excited, it gets me
That's
excited.
good.
Like I woke up this morning because like I was saying, I think we talked about it earlier in the show, was like the first couple days I was really pumped, and then it was like really tough for like 5 days.
Yeah.
And I woke up this morning, I told myself last night, I was like, no, today and moving forward, I don't care if this thing's going to be until the end of April or May, whatever. It's going to be nothing but progression. Let's go. Let's just like motivate. Let's keep going. Let's keep doing whatever
Uh-huh.
needs to be done.
Like snowball effect. Once you get like a little progress done on something, you can just feed off that.
Well, I mean, it goes to what we were talking about sucking at things too. It's like, dude, one of my goals, is funny, is that like I have notes like behind my computer here of things that I wanted to accomplish for this year. And one of my
Yeah.
goals is to get the YouTube channel going, because all of it's been audio. But it was like now all this happened, and like I can't do audio face to face. So I was forced to do this and keep it going. And
That's sick.
it was definitely hard though. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna suck at this and it's gonna be tough, but like
Mm-hmm.
fuck it. We just gotta go.
Exactly. Keep practicing. You'll
Dude,
never know it unless you try.
exactly. And like you said, it's like exactly what you said since this whole conversation is practice makes perfect. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, how long did it take you to land your first kickflip?
Like 8 months.
Yeah. But now you could just, dude, one of my favorite things about
Great.
your pro part, you have like your first couple lines are in like New York City.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're just flat ground tricks galore, bro. You're just going like
Dude, thanks.
it's so. That's what I wanted to actually. I'm so glad I remembered that. I wanted to tell you. I think even more so than like your bangers on rails and stuff like that is your lines, bro. Like I love lines in your flip trick game. Switch, regular, it doesn't matter. Like you did this switch backside big flip in a line.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
Dude, you did ollie up, well, you did the line first, and then to the, like, it was like feeble to ollie up to 50, and then you rode off into this dirt. But then you did a single the next trick. It was
Yes, yes.
50, or no, feeble 50, 180, and then you went into the street and then switch big flip
Oh yeah.
on flat. Bro,
I just
so
felt
good,
right that day. Thank you. I
dude.
was so relieved to fucking land that tricks as a single because we had been trying to film that line and it wasn't working.
Yeah,
So John Miner was like, "You should probably just do it as a single first, so you like get the feeling right." I was like, "All right," and that was even a mission in itself. But once it worked out, remember doing it twice, and I did the switch big flip, and he had kind of missed it, and I was like, "I'll just do it again." And did it like right after that, and he got it perfect.
dude.
I was stoked.
Yeah, your flip trick game, bro. Like, oh,
Thanks,
that's
man.
oh,
I think
oh,
growing up playing skate with Marshall Heath, I have a lot to thank for, because that dude kept me on my toes.
damn, that's right. He's Mafia too. He's down here in San Diego.
Uh-huh. But yeah, man, he would be throwing the craziest tricks at me, and I would just be losing, but still playing him because it was a fun challenge.
Yeah, dude.
Always.
What is it? Steel sharpens steel, or something like that, or
Yeah,
iron
yeah, yeah.
sharpens iron, something like that. Like, dude, do you remember like his first
Yeah. Shout
part?
out Marshall. Vermont connection right there.
Dude,
What
his
up?
his first part, like he was like in somebody's house and he like nose manual nollie flipped on like a coffee table.
Yeah, that's in Family Tree.
Dude,
Mm-hmm.
I
That
would
man is fucking genius. Him, Dave Aber, and like Colin Hale paved the way for me and all my friends when I was growing up. Because
David
they were
Barrett
make
he's from Vermont too?
yeah,
I did not
they
know that.
were all filming videos like right when I was getting going, and we're just like seeing all these spots that I would like skate by, and they're like filming tricks on them, all crewed up in the background, and like hijinks, and it's like this is what I want to do. Fuck. Slowly, like our generations like met each other and began to hang out and like party and skate together. It was sick. When it's like when you kind of become friends with your parents after looking at them as parents all your life. But those guys were like mentors to like friends for me.
Yeah,
And now it's sick because they're still doing it.
yeah. Do you ever link up with Marshall and still skate down here in San Diego or anything like that?
A little bit, not as much as I need to or as I want to, but I gotta just reach out to him like more in advance. I'll hit him up like when I'm heading to San Diego and he might just be doing something else. But if I let him know like a day or two in advance, like it's on. But I've ran into him a couple random times. He's
Damn.
like crewed up with the mafia dudes and just cracking jokes all day.
Yep.
Like this guy's the fucking man.
Dude.
Same
Yeah,
dude.
he's a cool cat, man. I've had a when I was still skating pretty tough. I had a couple sessions with him, and he was, dude, so
Oh,
consistent. Just
hell yeah.
nollie flips every time. Like,
Yeah.
I suck at nollie flips, so to watch him do it like perfect every time was just like, fuck, dude. Like, how do you
Huh.
do that?
Makes it look too easy.
Dude, for real, for real. Well, dude, fucking,
I think that's
like,
a good note to end on right there. Some like hometown inspiration.
yeah,
They're still doing it.
dude. I just have to say, Chris, like, as a homie, that I'm very, very grateful that I got to see you when you first like started coming out to Cali, and to see the progression. Um,
Oh yeah.
I
Thank you,
just
dude.
I really want you to do nothing but the best, bro. Like, keep it going. Huge fan, and just, I mean, like, you're a homie, but definitely I'm a fan. And I was sitting here watching your parts yesterday, bro. It was like, what the fuck? Like, dude, you're so good, like a little kid just watching, like, damn, son, like, that's so sick. Um,
That means a lot, dude. Thank you. Been putting a lot of effort into these parts, so glad you appreciating it.
dude, yes. Just please keep it going. Keep up the positivity. Like, keep up the art, man. I
Thank
think
you.
even more than the skating, I think that what got me hyped to have you on the show was what you have on the wall behind you right there.
Oh
Seeing
yeah.
that imagination and that creativity come to life. Um,
Thanks.
fuck, man. Hit me up when you're coming to San Diego. We'll get a cup of coffee.
I'm drawing a bunch of stickers too. I'll send you one of these.
Please do. Dude, yes. Yes, please do.
Stacks here.
Dude.
One more.
Yes.
One more for fun.
I like that blue one that you posted the other day. It was like a backsmith going like regular. Was it like it was like a swoosh almost? You posted on your Instagram. It was like blue.
Okay, okay. Yeah, it was just like one paint stroke.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Thank you.
Yeah, bro. Well, dude, Chris, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for being a guest. And
Yeah, I know it's good wrapping out. It's been too long.
dude, when this is over, we're gonna either grab a cup of coffee and a beer or both. And like I'll come up to LA or like you come to SD and we'll just make it happen, bro.
I'm with that.
All right, G. Thank you again.
Yeah. All right.
Peace.
Enjoy your quarantine. Happy Corona.
You too, bro. Stay safe.
All right, you too.
Peace.
One love.